All right, it says we are live.
Very nice.
There's a little bit of a lag sometimes on YouTube, so I always have to refresh the page to make sure it's actually on.
So let me see.
Yeah, we are live. Okay, perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Geek Out Cinema. I'm your host, Steven, and today on the show, we have YouTuber Scott on tape. He's a vlogger. He visits many filming locations and many different places around the world. And if you guys don't know him yet, make sure to go check out his channel. The link is down in the description below. But welcome to the show, Scott. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Steven?
Doing good. I appreciate you taking the time tonight.
No problem. Yeah, I was.
And also,
Go ahead.
I'll say also thank you for sharing the post around. You got my channel over 800 subscribers from your subscribers knowing about our show tonight, so I appreciate it.
I got you 800 subscribers.
Yeah, over.
For real?
Well, not over. Like I was at like I was not like 800 total. I mean, it got me over that mark, but I was at like 780 before, and then now I just reached over 800.
Good, man. I'm glad. Well, I hope everybody that follows me will follow you. That'd be great.
Yeah, we got already some people in the chat here saying hello. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Also, just FYI, everyone that's watching, if you guys have any questions for Scott, just let us know. I'll be happy to read your questions. And if you want to open the stream as well, if you want on your end, you can do that as well. But
How do I do?
you can just, if you want to, I can just read you the questions when they come in.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, or if you guys have any questions, I'll just let me know. But we're gonna start off. I want to ask you, Scott. So I came across your channel, I want to say probably at the beginning of this year or late last year. And so I've been watching like ever since. And I was looking today. So obviously you began your channel not too long ago. But one of the first major videos you did was for the Lost Boys filming location.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done, I think, 3 separate Lost Boys ones. I think, wait, yeah, 4. I think I've done 4.
Yeah.
Boys. Yeah, it's one of my favorite films. So yeah,
it's so good.
I've been going to the cave from the Lost Boys, which is in Palos Verdes, California. I've been going there for years, like way before YouTube. So it's one of my favorite places to go. I used to go and hang out there with friends and stuff when I'm in California. I love it. Yeah.
I still have to go. I went to California in 2018. I think I went there for like a week or so, maybe a little over. But yeah, I visited I went to like the Halloween locations, Elm Street locations.
Yeah.
But there's just too much to do in too little time. It's like impossible to do everything you want to do. But I definitely want to go back one day and do more filming locations. But it's great to see like people that like you that go to these locations. That way you can let everyone that's watching your channel can experience this type of things, like the locations that you visit, which is awesome. So I love watching that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Is like I like to be able to show people like where these places, and because I know a lot of people can't get to them because of
exactly
for various reasons. But I mean, ideally, no, I wouldn't want to do this. But now that I know all these locations in California and Los Angeles, it'd be great to do like we could get a school bus and take people because literally, like you said, you can't see everything.
Yeah, I know.
I could take now that I know the city so well and all the film locations. Give me a school bus. I could take everybody around in 2 days. Show you every location.
I was happy to see. If I'm not mistaken, it was because you were one of the first channels I actually saw someone do the film locations for Some Kind of Wonderful, which is, in my opinion, one of like a hidden gem from the 80s, an underrated John Hughes film.
Totally.
That was California, correct?
Yep, that's San Pedro.
Okay, perfect. I have the poster actually right behind me if you can see it. Right original there. One sheet at the back here.
Yep, there's Watts. Yep, I see it. Yeah, that video was that's actually one of my favorite videos I've ever done because first of all, I love the movie. I feel like I said and like you said, it's a forgotten gem. And then also because I was at my place, like the hotel I stay at in California in Inglewood, and I was hanging out with a friend, and he had to go meet other friends. So I dropped him off, and I was like going back to my hotel, and I'm like, the sun's gonna go down half an hour. Why don't I see if I can do all the Some Kind of Wonderful locations in 30 minutes or less? So what you do there is me going to all those locations within 30 minutes, as fast as I've ever done. I think I hit like
crazy
5 locations in it, and all within a half an hour, just like speeding through the downtown, like San Pedro to get to these locations and just being stupid. It was fun. I love that video.
Yeah, it was a good video. Someone saying in the live chat, Scotty driving the crazy train, LOL.
I'm sure one of the people that watch my channel regularly.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people here. I know. I try. You know, you go live. I would say like a couple times a week. I would say.
Yeah, I go live.
I try to be there as much as I can, but it's nice seeing you faces here because I'm sure a lot of these people that are watching tonight are from your channel. So it's great seeing you guys here on my channel. I appreciate you guys stopping by. So yeah, we're just talking about how you began your YouTube channel. Was it always something you considered that you wanted to eventually do, or did it just kind of happen?
It was never something I thought about at all. Like I've been, the stuff that I do on my channel, like filming locations, celebrity stuff, houses, true crime, graves. I've been doing that for years, way before YouTube. And then, long story short, like my father was really sick, so I moved back home to help take care of him, and so I didn't go anywhere for a very long time. And then when he went into long-term care, my friend said, "Okay, you're going on vacation. Where do you want to go? Anywhere you want to go." He wasn't paying, but he said, let's go together. And I said, California, like where else? I said, that's where we wanted to go. So we went, and then I kind of was just like filming. First place we went to was the Melrose Place building. Second place, land, go to the Melrose Place building, and then go to the alleyway from Greece, Thunder Alley. Like that's not the traditional vacation. And so then it was about 5 years. So I started going to LA all the time by myself and with friends over like 4 or 5 years. And then I did it. I have a degree in filmmaking, and and then also I was an actor. So then I was always kind of filming stuff for myself. And then I just had this kind of epiphany when I was in Florida with friends. I was like, let me just try this. I've always been thinking about doing YouTube for like 2 months. So I made a test video of me like with my friends in the swamps looking for alligators. They were in the water. I was above. I'm not from Florida. I'm not crazy. So, and then I put it up, and I was like, well, let's try another one. And then I was like, I'm doing this. And I was fully in.
That's awesome. And now, do you do YouTube full time? Is that like your full time gig, or do you
Nope, full time now? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a full time gig now.
That's awesome. And when you obviously, because I haven't been around since the beginning of your channel. When did you see, how did you find the audience that was viewing your channel, and how did you realize that you had something? Because now you're over 20,000 subscribers. So when did that start hitting and the number started going up for you?
It was I think people keep. I know I just hit 25,300, which is great. I'm always challenging, and the way I put it, I'm always at the beginning I was getting like a few views, then some regular people, because I was doing different things, I was either at a film location or very, very bad, the early videos, like the first 40, 50, I don't even know if mine are now great. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the first ones are just poor editing and stuff like that. So I was just kind of, since
you mentioned that, someone was saying, what was Scott's first video about? You can continue with that as well if you want.
Yeah, well, my first video, I believe, there's two, and I can never remember which one comes in order first. The first one, I believe, was me in the swamps looking for alligators with my friends, and we found a huge alligator in the Everglades. So I got really close to it on this little ledge above it, and I was filming it and talking about where I was. And then the second one, I was driving from LA to Palm Springs. So there's about 2 months apart because Florida, California. I was driving from LA to Palm Springs. I stopped at the Pee Wee Herman Dinosaurs from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
That's right.
Yeah, I filmed there. I think that was my second one. It could have been one of the two orders. But then, so I noticed. So in the first, I guess roughly the first year, I wasn't up to 1,000 subscribers at all. And then I knew that because that was around when YouTube changed the rules of how to monetize the channel. I knew that when I hit 1,000, that's when everything kind of changes. You get into a different algorithm. So I was getting regular viewers. and talking to them and stuff, and I was happy. It was good. And then I did a video about Michael Jackson's grave in Pasadena, in Glendale, California, and
Yeah. That has like close to like 1 million views.
yeah, I remember the day I was in Florida with 3 friends, and we were sitting by the pool, and my phone just kept ding, 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 new subscriber, new subscriber, new subscriber, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So I looked at the what was going on, and then the Michael Jackson video was hitting like 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. I guess it just got all of a sudden. So I went over 1,000. I went from like I think 800 subscribers to about 4,000 subscribers in 2 weeks because of the Michael Jackson video.
Yeah, sometimes it's that one video that makes your channel like grow instantly.
Yep, totally. There's a few. There's a Michael Jackson one, Lane Staley. I did a video about all my Kurt Cobain videos. They're the ones that consistently, Leonard Skinner, consistently get me new views, new subscribers. And then now I also get now I'm lucky because every time I upload something, I'm at the point where I'll get automatic like 1,000 views to whatever I put up, which is a goal I want to reach. But my next goal is 5,000 views every time I put up a video.
Right.
I'm like, I don't consider myself in competition with anybody. It's not a competition. YouTube, it's a community, and I'm only in competition with myself to get better and to try to do, I want to do more. I want to grow. I want to subscribe, and that's I want people to subscribe and just
Awesome. Yeah, I think the first video I ever saw of yours, if I'm not mistaken, it was most likely the Breakfast Club film and location video.
Yeah, that one I had been to, and see, I like a lot of those earlier ones, like the Breakfast, like a lot of those locations I'd been to a few times before in life because I've been, like I said, I've been going to filming locations since I can't remember. And the Breakfast Club one was I planned that one out when I went because I brought a bunch of props to dress as Bender or whatever the hell I did. I think that was probably one of the first because I do that. Okay, I do that like every so often. I'll dress up or I'll bring like I have a table full of props right here. I never thought I'd be a prop comic, but who knew? But yeah, I think that was the first time I ever said. And I remember I was setting up the camera on a tripod on the football field, and kids walking by like, "What is this dude doing?" Like I had the whole jacket. I was just like, okay, well, this is how it's gonna be. And now I have no shame. I'll dress up as anything.
What's funny you mentioned that because I was watching your Dazed and Confused video today, and with that wig was cracking me up. I couldn't take it seriously.
I know. See that one? I knew when my friend Adam was with me. My friend in Texas, he was laughing while we were doing it. Like it was starting. He's like, "Seriously, dude? Like this is what you're doing?" I'm like, "Because we shot 5 filming locations, big ones, every location from 5 different movies in 4 days in Austin." So Dazed and Confused. I said, "You know what? It's a fun, silly movie. I gotta take a break from. I just gotta do something different instead of just filming locations." So I decided to do that character, and it alienated a few people. They got like 8 dislikes right away. Funny too, because I'm just like, oh god, it's just a filming location. Chill out. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
If people take a filming location, some people get really mad. Like when you don't shoot the exact way they want, or you show the exact thing you want. I'm like, I'm shooting the filming locations for like. A 1987 horror film. I'm not remaking Schindler's List here. Like, let's chill out. Let's calm down.
Exactly. Someone in the chat, Moonchilds, please forget, I came in late, but what's the interviewer's name? You're asking great questions. Thank you. My name's Steven. For everyone that's new to the channel that got sent over here from Scott's channel, my name's Steven. I've been around doing YouTube for, I would say, 3 years now. I interview different people that are on YouTube. I interview celebrities. One of my latest other interviews was with Cherie Curry, the lead singer from The Runaways. I do a bunch of stuff. I do unboxings time to time. And if you guys are any chance, because I'm sure a lot of people in the live chat here, you guys are into film since you watched Scott's channel with all the filming locations. I'm actually in the process right now of doing my directorial debut for a film that's hopefully going to be getting shot next month. We have a campaign open until September 6th. If you guys want to check us out, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Our username is @TheRageFilm. We're selling perks such as t-shirts, digital copies, posters, and much more. Every little bit helps and is much appreciated. And the project, as I said, it's my directorial debut. It's a short horror film, and it was actually developed by Lynn Griffin, who played Claire on the original Black Christmas. So if you guys are horror fans, definitely check it out. Be much appreciated. And yeah, I'm glad to see new faces here in the chat, and hopefully I see you guys in other future chats on live streams.
What was she like from Runaways? What was she like?
Sorry,
the girl from Runaways.
Yeah, Cherie Curry.
Nice person.
Yeah, no, she was wonderful. She's awesome. Yeah, she's super nice.
I love that movie. I love the movie about him.
Yeah, she was talking about that too because the movie was partially based on her book Neon Angel. So yeah, we're talking about that because that's how I discovered their music was through the movie, and I was like in grade 7 or 8 when it came out back in 2010. So it was a really honor to interview her and speak to her.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah.
Let's see. What film? Yeah, I was actually going to ask this too. Good question, Tasha. She asked that what filming location does Scott still want to go to? That's what I was going to ask that too. That's a good question. What's on your bucket list?
Okay, well, there's a few. There's a lot. I'd say it's probably the biggest one for me, which I want to go. I really want to go to Norway, to Finsk, to do Empire Strikes Back. So that's Hoth, the ice planet. I really, really, really want to do that. Now, a lot of the scenes were shot right outside of Finsk 122, I believe is the name of the hotel. And then the battle scenes were shot way far out on a glacier, which you can get to, but if the weather's bad, you can't. So it's a matter of like going. Well, first of all, I got to get to Norway.
Yeah.
I'm going to Norway for one thing. It's weird, but so that's probably my number one that I've always wanted. But I hate snow, and I hate, you're from Canada. You live a half an hour away from me. You know what it's like. Like November to April, we're suffering through winter. Last thing I want to do is travel somewhere and be in winter. But there's Jurassic Park, Hawaii locations, and then there's I plan on visiting every Friday 13th location from every.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, even Jason Goes to Hell, which I hate. I can't stand that movie. But
which one's your favorite?
Part 2.
Me too. Yeah, see, you don't get a lot of part 2s. Part 2 is my favorite as well.
Come on, it's got the best. Although I love the mask. I love the Jason mask. I love Jason with the bag over his head. That terrified me when I was little. It absolutely terrified me the way he looked. So that holds a special place in my heart because and then part 3 and part 4 I love. Part 6 I love, but part 3, my friend Adam and I used to go to his house after school and watch. He had it on video. He owned it on video. So we were too young to be watching these movies, but we watched it over and over and over. Like I must have seen part 3 the most out of all of them, and it probably 40, 50 times in my life, more than that. I just love it. So any Friday 13th location that I haven't been to, I still really want to go to, and I have plans to go to them.
That's awesome. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. For you, what has been the hardest location for you to find?
Hardest location? I've been asked this before. There's a few. There's like a lot of, you could find a lot of information online about where locations are nowadays. And also if somebody from watching my I don't always say the address and stuff, and people ask me, why don't you give the address? I'm like, I don't know, because I forget while I'm filming to say, oh, by the way, this is 123 Mockingbird Lane or whatever. I don't think of it.
No, exactly.
If I can remember, I'll gladly tell anybody who, I'm not precious about it, like keep it a secret. But probably because before I did YouTube, about a year or two before YouTube, I really wanted to go see the tree from My Girl, the movie.
Yes.
My Girl. So I really wanted to see the tree, and there was nothing about it on YouTube. Nobody had been to it, and there was pictures of it online, how it looked, and then I dug and dug deep, and I kept looking for about a month on Google Street View, Google Earth, Google Satellite, you name it, the whole thing. And finally, I kind of pinpointed it to a location where they had been filming other things. And then I zoomed in and I took the chance that this was the tree. It looked like the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there with my friend, and he's just like, "What the hell are we doing?" And I'm like, "Just bear with me." And we went. And sure enough, I talked to the people that own the property, and they're like, "Yeah, that's the tree." And they told me the history of it because it's not a real tree; it's made of metal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I went and did a little video for it, but that was before YouTube. And then I went back last summer, I think it was. I went back again and filmed it,
yeah.
and then
Right.
put clips of me there 4 or 5 years before. So that was probably the hardest one, was the My Girl tree. Otherwise, and also Friday 13th Part 9, the reboot.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy had special permission to go to the camp. It's not a Boy Scout camp. What kind of
Like
camp?
private, right?
It's a private, like, and there's no cabins, but you set up tents. But I forget what it is. But anyways, it's very, very private property. They kick out people all the time there. So I had permission to go, and then when I got there, I was standing there, and I was with Adam because he's in Austin, and I was just standing there. I was like, dude, this place is huge. I said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like. I thought I would go there. There'd be all the locations, kind of very easy to find. There's like 6, and then the guy that works at the camp just he came up and said, "Are you Scott?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, so what do you want to see?" I said, "Well, I want to see this." And I showed him pictures. I had all pictures. He goes, "Oh, that's this, 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 this." He goes, "Those are that." He goes, "It's every area of the camp." I would never have been able to find him without him. And I forget his name, but he's on that. He's I thank him in the video, but he was, without his help, I would have been lost at Jason's camp overnight, and I wouldn't have been.
You don't want that.
I don't give up. So I would have been there for hours. But he took us in his pickup truck, his like park ranger pickup truck, took us to each location. He had never even seen the movie. He just knew from my pictures. He goes, "That's this, that's this," and I matched.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's probably that's the latest one that was hard to find. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, there's definitely, and unfortunately too, a lot of sets get demolished. And or if things change all the time, locations change all the time, so you can't all the time align all the shots. But it's cool when old structures still standing from a movie that you love and want to visit.
Yeah, the one I'm doing, my upcoming one I should be ready for Friday or Saturday. I got special permission to go into. I went to every location from this movie, and then one of the places it was really difficult to get inside, but I got inside, and it looks the exact same, like preserved in time. I'm not going to tell you the movie, so you can be surprised when you see it. But I was just like, wow, and it was. Sometimes you get to a movie location and it doesn't look at all. Even if it hasn't changed, it still looks completely different than it did on camera because of angles and lighting and dressing. And I was just at one on Sunday for another one I'm doing. And when I wanted to go to this one for so long, and I was inside, I was looking, I was like, this doesn't look at all like what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But it still was the place, so I still filmed it. Yeah.
You're just talking about things that, is there any upcoming content that you could talk about, or do you keep that you don't talk about until it's released?
No, I do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I like surprising people so they don't know what's coming, I will say that I'm doing and like I said, I don't not say it because I think because I'm so precious about it, or it's a big secret. I'd like to surprise you so they don't know, because and I used to not tell anybody because I've done something, and then all of it, I said I'm going to go on to a filming trip here, and here, and then some people have gone and filmed those locations when I said them. That's happened to me a couple of times. I'm just been like, but the ones coming up are, I'm doing a bunch of Toronto. I'm trying to go to Europe, but as you know, with the COVID, it's difficult to travel, so I'm figuring that out. But I'm doing a lot of Toronto stuff, and pretty much every movie that's been filmed in Toronto, I've got on my radar. So my next ones, I've got some more grave ones, true crime, two of the biggest crimes ever in Canada. I'm going to be covering. I've already started filming. This is I film everything in a day wherever I am. I'll go to all locations. Yeah. But now that I'm kind of, I'm here in Toronto, I've been filming. I've got bits that I filmed 2 weeks ago, somewhere a week ago. But I'm doing think of some of the biggest movies of the 90s that were filmed in Toronto, and you'll be on the right track of what I'm doing. while doing that. Late 80s and mid 90s, and then biggest crimes in Canadian history that happened in Toronto. Those are my next ones that I'm working on. Those will be over the next 3-4 weeks.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Let's look in here in the chat. Dana, she asks, Stephen, how are you able to interview your celebrities? What's the process you have to go through to set up the chats? I honestly just reach out to them on social media or their publicists or their websites, and I always have a live chat open for people that want to ask questions during the interview. I like interacting with the viewers, and I find it fun, and I always do them live. So that's pretty much all how I do it. Now, Scott, because you said that you have a lot of upcoming new content. How for you, like, how many days a week are you on the road and at home?
Good question. Well, I guess from 2018 up until January of this year, I was pretty much on the road, I would say 6 months of the year, and then home in Toronto the other 6 months. So a good 2 years traveling. Now, and then I was done at the end of November last year, and I said, okay, I'm not going anywhere until April or May. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, I got to go to Texas. I got to go to Texas, and because there was just so much I wanted to do there. And I'm not rich or anything, but I worked at the time at another job, so I just saved. Don't I sacrifice. Don't go out. Don't spend extra money on anything that I don't need. And so I went to Texas in January, and then if this was a regular year, I'd already have been on the road 3 or 4 more times. Like it's crazy. Like I went to Montreal a month ago, as you know, from being from Toronto, going to Montreal is not a big deal. It's a 5-hour drive. Right. I mean, it's Montreal, so it's like okay. But I was like, I'm so itching to go somewhere, so I went and filmed in Montreal. So basically, I'm on the road a lot, and right now I can't be, and it's killing me.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know that's the thing, because you can't cross the border if you want to do any long road trips. But I mean, at least you can do things within Canada still.
Yeah. Well, you saw I did prom night. I did the prom night locations. That's literally the high school was my rival high school. That's Domino's Collegiate, and it's up the street from where I live. So also on not too far from where I was working too. So I've been going to Domino's Collegiate since I was a teenager, hanging out there with friends that went to school there, and then living down the street from it for the past 2-3 years. I'm like, I gotta go do prom night, but I would never in Toronto. I would never do anything. Editing my videos from on the road. But meanwhile, here in Toronto, there's everything shot here. So finally, I was like, wow, okay, I gotta do prom night, and it was a lot of fun.
Have you had any? I don't know if you like the franchise. I know some people do, some people don't. Have you been able to find any of the filming locations from the Saw movies? Because they're pretty much all filmed up here.
It's funny because I've only seen the first one, but I became friends with Costas Mandylor. He's in which is the brother that's in Saw.
I'm gonna look it up. It says Costas.
Yeah, I'm looking at
with a C or a K.
With a C. Costas. Here he is. No, yeah, it's Costas. Oh yeah, it is. He doesn't have. I'm getting confused.
What's his last name?
Mandylor. I got him. He's the star of Saw.
Okay.
He's a star of Saw. He's Mark Hoffman. He played Mark Hoffman.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
So I actually struck up a friendship with him a few years ago, and
nice.
And that was before YouTube, and I haven't seen him since. So I was always thinking, okay, I gotta figure out how to get in touch with him again, because I know he lives in Toronto, but I just lost touch with him.
Yeah, he was like a big character in the sequels.
Pardon?
He was a big character in the sequels.
Yeah, he's in like 3 or 4 of them, right? Like
yeah.
So Saw is something I've always wanted to, but it's a matter of I want to get him in it with me, or somebody from the film, because it's a pretty big film.
Yeah.
And also I'd have to watch them again, because
I know.
And
the thing is, I don't know. I looked up some locations. Obviously, the first one wasn't filmed up here. I think it was filmed in LA, if I'm not mistaken. I know that like the final chapter was filmed like on like Dundas Square,
Oh,
where
really?
I think or somewhere around there. I think, but I have to do more research on it. But I think I had a little trouble finding it because there's no one on YouTube that's done any besides part one. But I know that all the sequels are filmed pretty much here in Toronto, so
Oh,
I've been
okay.
trying to find them. But if you have any luck, let me know.
Yeah, I'll check out. Yeah, maybe I should watch. I'll watch Saw 2, Saw 3, and see. I mean, Toronto's pretty. Growing up here, it's there's so many movies that you watch, and you're like, "That's Toronto. That's Toronto." You can tell right away. You
Yeah,
can tell
yeah, yeah,
right away. Either by the locations or just the film stock looks cheaper sometimes. I don't know. There's
yeah,
something about the way movies are shot in Toronto, but
yeah,
I'm pretty good when it comes to Toronto locations. I'll be like, "Oh, that's Bloor and Bathurst. That's what that's Queen. You can always tell.
yeah.
It's always the same. It's either Distillery, Queen and Bathurst, or Yonge Street. I mean, that's pretty
Right.
much for Toronto locations. If they shoot a movie in Toronto and the alleyway at Queen and at Bloor and Bathurst, there's an old alleyway there. They filmed every movie in the world. Long Kiss Goodnight, Scott Pilgrim. They all use the same alley.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember I watched actually Scott Pilgrim for the first time. I would say like last month. Yeah, then I saw that was all filmed up here, which is cool. So
Yeah, and that's actually the first. Do you like the movie? It's a good movie.
yeah, it was definitely different. I know some people that love it, but I love Michael Cera, so it was cool
Yeah.
seeing him in there.
Yeah, I got to meet him when he was here filming it, and he was very, very Michael Cera-esque. He was
Oh,
exactly
man.
yeah, just aloof and kind of quiet and shy, and but really cool. And Scott Pilgrim actually says meanwhile in however it opens, I forget whatever
Yeah, in Toronto.
in Toronto. Like it actually says it takes place in Toronto, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
so many
yeah.
references to it in it. They're at Sonic Boom that used to be on Bloor, the
Yeah,
pizza at Queen and Bathurst that we all hung out at as kids. It's there.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the live chat here. What people are saying. Thanks, Michael, for sharing the links. I'll actually hold on. I'll put that in quickly. All right, there we go. Someone asked, has Scott ever been truly scared at any location he visited? And that's actually that was one of my questions too. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever been creeped out visiting any type of locations?
Well, yes. Never in a cemetery have I been creeped out. Even the ones I've gone to at night, I've gone to a couple. Because they don't creep me out. My mother instilled that in me as a kid. Like there's nothing to be afraid of in cemeteries. So
Right.
so always people think that I'm like, I'm afraid of ghosts or whatever when I'm at cemeteries. I'm like, no. But there's been a couple of like I did the Lane Staley video in a particularly sketch area of Seattle, and I had a beer bottle thrown at me by a person on the street, that didn't want me in the area. And then Detroit, I've been to Detroit many, many times because I love the city so much. But I did go I go off the beaten path, and it was getting dusk. It's turning to dusk, and then I saw this building, and I thought, and I wanted to showcase the beauty and the despair of Detroit. So I thought, well, let me go see what that's going on in that building. Then I started wandering around this abandoned building, and then dusk turns to dark pretty quick, and I was like, this maybe is not my best idea. And then just last month, when I was in Montreal, I was doing the filming locations for The Score, Robert De Niro and Ed Norton, and I wanted to do the scenes that were at night. I wanted to do them at night, so I went down into the sewers where Robert De Niro goes. And as I was walking down, and that's a particularly sketch area of Montreal too, as I was walking down, getting close, like just this tunnel looks really kind of dark, and all I had was my light. I could hear people talking. I was like, okay, there's people in there. Then the talking turned to whispering, but the whispering was getting louder. So I could tell that they had talking, saw me, saw the light, started whispering to each other, 2 or 3 people, and then the whispering was getting louder because they were coming towards me. So I was like, probably not a good idea to be down here with a camera equipment, shining lights by myself. I'm not afraid, but also I'm gonna lose everything. So
yeah, no, exactly.
I just turned around and walked. I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm good. So that's probably, yeah, there's been some weird, it definitely, you know, and I've been in some places where people were murdered and stuff like that. It doesn't creep me out really, but you know, there's a somberness for sure.
Yeah. So someone's saying in the live chat, ask Scott about people down in the sewer from the score.
Yeah, that's that's very true. Yeah, that was the latest one. Like I was really just kind of like, oh God, like what the hell am I doing? Like I was just like 5 minutes ago, I was comfortably in a hotel room with my feet up, relaxing,
Mm.
and now I'm in the sewers of Montreal, about to be rolled for my camera. Not the best idea,
Oh
but
my God.
it was fun.
Has there been any, I don't know if I asked this already, but has there been any content that you've never published because you weren't happy with it and how it turned out?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It happens a lot, it feels like, especially like sometimes I've heard people's like, you think you're taping, but you're really not. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, that's my worst nightmare is to think that I'm recording and not. But because one of my rules of filming, I've got a few, but one of my rules of filming is if I film something when I'm on the road,
Right.
I leave the location, whatever it is, and don't check it till I get to my hotel or whatever that night. Because if I watch it 5 minutes later, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I should have done this, should have done that," and I'll go back and I'll keep shooting, and it's gonna take me 5 hours to shoot something that would take me 5 minutes because I'm just gonna keep thinking of more things. So I have to make sure I'm a good 3-4 hours away from the location before I review it. So that's a stupid chance I take. But then I was up doing the Tommy Boy locations about 2 months ago, and I
Right.
filmed the whole 20 minutes of footage, and I filmed it in slow motion by mistake.
Oh
I hit
shoot. So
slow
did you
mo.
like
Yeah, I
what-
luckily for some stupid reason, I saw another building that was in the background of a shot. I thought I better shoot that just to have, you know, extra content, extra.
yeah, yeah.
And then I clicked on one of my to see how it looked, and everything was, "Ooh, well here," and it was
Oh
beyond.
God.
I was like, oh my God. So I had to go back and redo it, and it was, and you know, but yeah, but I've got probably now 30 to 40 at least videos that I've filmed in its entirety that I've never put up. I've even got some that are fully edited and never put up.
Wow.
And some I will, but some I think I've got some of them are 2 years old. If they're more than 2 years old, it's just like I've my style has changed, so I'm not gonna put them up. But I've got
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I've got 2 or 3 from December of 2018. I still want to put up, and then I've got one or two from California. Last time I was in California that I still want to put up, but I
Mm,
want to add stuff to them. But
right.
then I've got. If I start thinking about it, like I'm like, oh yeah, there's 2 right now I could think of in Charlotte, North Carolina that I filmed. And there's another one, there's about at least 8 in Georgia. And some of these are big locations, but I'm just
Mm,
like, well, I've moved on to doing whatever I am now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe I'll put them up, or maybe I'll just go back and redo them.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. And some of my videos some of my earlier videos I want to re-upload because, you know, people don't go back. I've got over 500, 600 videos now. So some videos that I really liked, I forget that I even have them up there. So
Right.
I want to re-upload them now so people can see them.
Like a remastered version.
Yeah, because sometimes there's only like 300 views. And I'm like, and people ask me, "Hey, can you go do this location?" I'm like, I think I did that. And I'll check. I'm like, yeah, I did that.
You know,
I'm
it's
like,
funny.
yeah.
You're saying Tracy, they're asking, have you ever gone to a location twice the second time by mistake?
Yes. Yes. Oh God, yes. I did that with I've done that. I'm an idiot. I've done that at least 4 or 5 times where I've said, okay, I got to go film this, and I've gone to the place. I'm like, wait a minute, I did this already. That happened with in 2 locations from Greece. That happened with what the hell movie was it? It was a smaller movie. And oh gosh, I can't remember. It was a small. It wasn't a John Hughes. Wasn't. Oh, what? It was a John Hughes movie. It was a John Hughes movie. I went to do 16 Candles, and
Right.
the day after it was like literally 2 days later, and I was like, oh fuck, I was just here. Like I wasn't thinking straight. In Detroit, I've done that a few times. I've gone to the same location, and then just last month, I drove to Montreal, and had all these things in mind, and then I want to do the Catch Me If You Can Paris locations.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
woke up in the morning all excited. I'm gonna go downtown old Montreal and shoot the cathedral that's used in Catch Me If You Can. So I plug in the coordinates on the GPS, and it says 5 hours away or 4.5 hours. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
geez.
I'm like, what? I'm like, no. So I keep doing it over and over again. I'm like panicking. I'm like, why does it keep saying this? And it was actually shot in Quebec City. So
Oh,
I just assumed when I read about it, it was filmed. I said, oh, that's old Montreal right away. I didn't know it was
yeah,
old.
yeah.
So then I had to make a decision. Do I stay in Montreal for the day, or do I drive 4 hours to Quebec City just to film this one cathedral from Catch Me If You Can? I said, well, F it. I'll drive to Quebec City. It was just in my head. I was like, I can't not see it now.
Marie said, "Hey Scott, I've seen your videos. I don't know what it stands for. It might stand for something. It's not my bad. KURDT tattoo. Same with an E for an M&M. Any other cool tattoos?"
Oh, she's talking about my Kurt autograph tattoo.
Okay.
So that's Kurt. That's Kurt spelled his name with a D before the T.
Okay.
So it's a copy of his autograph. He didn't really autograph my arm. That's
okay.
Yeah. I've got the E for M&M. I've got my father and grandmother initials here, and then so this arm is pretty much pop culture and family. It's gonna be filled in, and then this arm is I've got Detroit. That's for Detroit. 313 the area code because I love Detroit, and Los Angeles is
Nice.
this. Yeah, because I love LA. And I'm gonna get Toronto and all my favorite cities, Atlanta, and then I got a little tattoo that's supposed to be me. That was my first one. I didn't want my friends made a film crew that I filmed with in Indiana. That was my initiation to filming with them because they're tattoo artists. They said, if you want to film with us, you got to get tatted. And I'm like, all right, do it. What do I care?
That's awesome. And it's cool that you have those type of tattoos because they're significance to you. You obviously,
yeah. I never thought I always liked tattoos, but then I thought, well, it has to be something that means something to me. And then like Detroit, LA, Kurt Cobain, Eminem, those are all, people will be like, Eminem, Kurt Cobain. Well, it's like, well, yeah, they inspired me as artists and they inspired their work. Why wouldn't I? What am I going to get? Winnie the Pooh? Like
something random.
Yeah.
Natasha, they ask, what's the significance of leaving rocks at graves? It's a good one.
Oh. Well, I grew up in a very as Toronto's very multicultural, but I grew up in quite a Jewish neighborhood, I would say, and so I had a lot of Jewish friends, and going a lot of bar mitzvahs, bars and bars, a lot of bars and bar mitzvahs, and then funerals, and like unveilings of stones and stuff, unveilings of headstones. So with that, I got to go to a lot, and I would see the stones on graves. So I asked what it meant, and then I remember my friend's mother telling me exactly what it meant. And there's various meanings for it, but to show a sign of respect that you've been there. It's to build a wall, to create a wall of security for the person that's buried beneath, and it's to ward off any evil spirits. Another thing is, if you put it right on the grave, it's to keep the soul from rising out. To keep the soul resting. I just thought it was something very, and I started doing it as way before YouTube. I just liked it. And then if you go to like where Leonard Cohen's buried, that's the Jewish part of Notre Dame Cemetery in Montreal. Like, I think I panned around to show, but there's rocks everywhere. Like, because it's just, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
And,
it's like the Corey Haim one too.
Yeah, the Corey Haim. Yeah, that's a Jewish cemetery too. There's rocks everywhere. Because I always thought it was weird. For me, I see like people leaving pennies at graves. I'm like, what's the significance of a penny? So I understand when people say, well, what's the significance of a rock?
Yeah.
Every grave I go to, there's no when it's a famous person, always a penny, at least one. I'm always like, what's the significance of a penny? But I guess it means something to someone.
No, exactly.
And, if it's somebody like Peter Zezel, a famous NHL player, I left a puck. And then Emmanuel Jacques, the shoe shine boy, a little toy. And that's what I've done. I've left other things along with a rock, but I'm always going to leave a rock too. I've left guitar picks like got Stevie Ray Vaughan, things like that. And, I understand that those things get discarded by cemetery crews. Like they clean up the graves. So they're going to get rid of it. And some stuff. Flowers die and blow away. I can guarantee you that if I go up to Emmanuel Jacques' grave in 3 or 4 months, that little toy car is still going to be there. So I like that. I like that. It's going to be there.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
They don't take rocks away. They don't take rocks away, but they take flowers away because they die. And
yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
rocks
cool.
are there forever.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. Everyone's like in the chat talking about Diane Keaton and your obsession with her. So they would like
viewers. What do they want to know? Yes, I love Diane Keaton.
There you go, guys. They're like, can you please explain his obsession with Diane Keaton? So random.
Yeah, I saw Manhattan and Annie Hall in my formative years, I guess you could say, and I thought she was just, she's got such a strange way. She's known as a great actress, but she's not. I don't find her to be she's not Meryl Streep. In terms of diversity, she's always Diane Keaton-esque in every role she plays, but she's always bubbly and with that smile. And then something, what the hell's the movie? Something's Got to Give. That movie with her and Jack Nicholson, I fell in love with her. That was, she's beautiful as a young lady, she's beautiful as an older lady, and she's just amazing in that movie. And then I've watched her anytime she's in a movie. I'm like, Diane Keaton, sold. Same with, but I have that with a lot of actors and that. Like,
you have your favorites.
Yeah, they get favorites like Reese Witherspoon. Like, I think she's just beautiful. I love her. Like, I put her on screen reading a phone book. I'm there. And same with Diane Keaton. But same with Meryl Streep. Like, I love some of her movies are a little. If they're a little boring, then because she's so diverse. But like, I just there's certain actors and actresses that if they put something out, I will watch everything. Denzel's another one. Denzel and Ethan Hawke. Yeah.
Well, since we got that out of the way, because so many people were talking about that. What's the best and worst travel experience for you that you've had so far?
Best and worst. Probably one of my the best is always meeting people, right? Like, and especially fellow creators on the road. That's always fun, and I get to and meeting viewers. I love that. It's always a great experience. And then also, like, there's a guy that was back in December leaving like funny comments on my videos and making fun of my editing style, but in a funny way. Like, he wasn't being a dick. He was just being funny. And so I was laughing with him, and and I would watch some of his stuff and I made fun of him. And then I said, I guess somewhere I said, I'm going to Texas, and I'm going to Austin. And then he wrote me and he said, hey dude, like, I live in Austin. I know like all these locations, like that's what I'm into, filming locations. So I said, okay, well, we'll film it. He was off, we filmed the weekend, then he took 2 extra days off work. And so that was one of the best decisions I made to get to film with Adam, because he knew, you go to a strange city. If I had gone there, I filmed 5 different movies, every location for those 5 movies. That would have taken me, I would have been going over here. He said, no, this is the fast way here. I know this. And he'd already done them all himself for his channel.
Right.
So that was a great experience going, just even though I was the one driving, he's saying, okay, we turn here. You're going to be here. Okay, we got to be here by this time because sun, got to be here. This time, sun's going to come. Like, he knew everything. The great thing. So that was a great experience. That's in terms, and then going and staying at Kurt Cobain's house is probably my most emotional. Like, for me as a huge Kurt Cobain fan to actually stay.
Yeah, that was a cool video.
Yeah, and that was on the anniversary of his death.
Wow.
25th anniversary, the exact day. So I remember, like, I forget a lot of times what I filmed and what, the general feeling, but I'll never forget those 4 days in Seattle doing every Kurt Cobain location and the feeling of being. I couldn't leave Kurt, and I was away. I was down in California for 2 weeks after that. I couldn't shake Kurt Cobain from my mind, from
Wow.
the way it made me feel. Like, it was just like every 5 minutes he'd pop into my head. I'd be like, I can't believe I was walking the same street where he walked, this and that. And it was just really heavy for me because, he's such an amazing artist. And so that was really special to me. The Greece locations, very special. And oh, my dog. And then worst experience. Whew. I don't know. Worst filming experience. There hasn't been too much. I mean, there are little things like driving around like Boston during rush hour. It's not fun. Like, it's not. There's parts of it that are just like, God, can this day be over? Or why did I start this video? I still have to go here. And I'll get stuck somewhere, or I can't find the place, or I'll get to a place and I'll risk it by not asking in advance, and they say no or whatever, and then there'll be a crazy person, a Karen, yelling at me on the street saying, don't film that house or don't film here. And, so that, could put a damper on it. But, 1 second, the dog going crazy here. Hey. All right. No, he doesn't want to come in now. Okay. Yeah. So there's been, but otherwise it's not too many bad experiences. No, I can't think of any, but I'm sure there has been. I mean, I've gone to some places where I've just been so completely exhausted and wiped out from driving for hours and hours. Oh, Mount Rushmore. That's a good example. Actually, I drove, oh God, I don't know, 8 hours out of my way, something like that, to go to Mount Rushmore, because I thought, well, I'm never going to be out this far again, but I know I would be. And I got there, and it was dark. It was freezing cold. There was snow. It was only November. There was no one there. All of it was shut down for all this stuff. So it was just like me and the 4 guys up on the mountain, and everything was closed down. Like, you couldn't walk up to them. It was just a very lonely feeling after 8 hours. And then then my next location was another 7 hours away. And then I was just like, oh God, I'm going to be in my car for another 7 hours driving to the next place. It was brutal. But I'm glad I did that Rushmore video. I'm glad I didn't put it up, because it shows it's, a lot of people go there and they've got, the families all waving and having a great time. And me, I'm just like, yeah, here I am alone at Mount Rushmore. Let me tell you about it. And that was it.
That's awesome. No, like, what you do is like insane. And you do a really good job at it. And we all appreciate it, because, it's a lot of work to get to these places and to put it all together to publish it on YouTube. So keep it up, and we do appreciate watching it.
Thanks,
so let me think here. So we just got to do worst and best places that you've traveled to and your experiences. Mm-hmm. You've met a lot of celebrities as well. For you, what has been the most disappointing celebrity that you've met, and the friendliest, like your favorite celebrity encounter?
Most disappointing, Brian De Palma, the director, Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
Scarface, Carrie, what else? Carlito's Way. I sat down with him, and I was a young filmmaker at the time, and there's a child film, and he was just not pleasant. He wasn't nice at all. Yeah, he was just dismissive, and I was seated at his table because somebody I knew was part of his group. He was just very, very rude and dismissive. So but I guess he gets talked to. He doesn't, but you're at a film festival dinner, dude. Like, what else are you going to talk about besides movies?
Yeah,
what are you going to talk about? Pomeranians? Schnauzers? Come on, dude. Like, talk about movies with I was like 19 at the time. Like, he wanted none of it. And probably my favorite, I'm lucky that because I got to meet a lot of them during the film festival, but also I'd go down as a teenager, I'd go down to hotels where bands were staying and stuff and try to meet them. So my best experience was Bono. I'll tell you really quick. I've met Bono at least 3 or 4 times. And the first time I met him, I spent an hour talking to him, my friends and I, and we were recording it on video. And he said, and he's like, do you mind not recording? He goes,
right.
He goes, legally, it was all in his thick Irish accent, but I'm not going to do that. He's like, we got a film crew following us. He goes, wouldn't you rather have a regular conversation? He goes, with me? He goes, in that, I was like, yeah, that makes more sense. So I told my friend to put the camera away. So we did. So that was awesome. And he spoke to us for an hour. We sat on
Oh,
this
wow.
bench for like an hour talking to fucking Bono. And then 6 months later, they were back in town to do another leg of the tour. And we were at the back of the hotel. Then they all came out. I got to meet Edge and Adam and Larry. And then Bono went right into the car and started driving the street. So we started walking towards. All of a sudden, the limo stopped, and he rolled the window down. And he goes, "I know you." And he points to me and goes, "I know you." I was like, "Hey." He goes, "Come here." And he called me over. He opens the limo. He goes, "You cut your hair, man." Because I had
That's
long hair
awesome.
and I first met and then short hair. And I was like, "Holy shit, man." He goes, "What?" He goes, "You don't want an autograph, do you?" He goes, "Come on." He's like making fun of me. I'm like, "Well, yeah." So I got a whole bunch of shit autographed, Acton Baby
Oh,
magazine,
wow.
and he autographed them all. And he said, "Okay, man, hope to see you again." And then I saw him again 2 days later in Toronto, and he came right up to me and started talking to me with all like there was like 100 fans. Like that's, and I was like a kid. I was like a young teenager. So to have Bono pick you out of a crowd and like start talking to you like he knows you,
That's
that was,
amazing.
yeah, it was this. So he's everything. Like some people think he's, Bono, Bono the bore, or go, with his, preaching and charity and all that, but he's not. He's like the nicest guy. And then George Michael, I got to meet, was absolutely, and Ben Stiller was my other one. Ben Stiller gave
Wow.
me a lot of great advice, and I got to
I,
sit
I
down.
I think I was watching I was watching the video today because I watched Reality Bites for the first time. I think it was last week, and I
Really?
was watching. Yeah, I was watching the video today when you went to see the filming locations. You're mentioning that you told Ben Stiller that you've
Mm-hmm.
seen it like over 200 times, like 1 week or something like that.
I watched that movie when it was released on video after it came in there. I watched it every day for about 200 days in a row. No word of a
That's
lie. I watch it I've done that with a few. I've done that with Cocktail, Tom Cruise, Cocktail, Reality Bites, and Training Day. But Reality Bites, literally, I would put it on in the morning while I was getting ready for school, and then when summer hit, I just put it on in the morning before I would go out. Video cassette in, Reality Bites on, and would just be on. So I told Ben Stiller that he was in that typical Ben Stiller way. He just looked at me like, wow, I can't believe it. It was so funny seeing his reaction, because I was like, yeah, dude, it's something that I'm obsessed with.
That's insane. I did like the movie. I think the only thing that bugged me though was
I know
Ethan Hawke's character.
I knew it. I was gonna
I
say
couldn't.
that.
It's like, does he want her? Does he not want her? Can he just make up his mind? It's like driving me crazy. And then I'm like, she ended up with him at the end. I'm like, she should have ended up with like Ben Stiller actually cared for her. But then I guess
That's the
Ethan
big,
Hawke does too.
yeah.
But he's not on one side. He's on her side one day and another side and the other day. It's just
Yeah, no, that's the big complaint about that movie, and I still get it. I still get that in my head, because I'm like, why didn't she go with the nice guy? But it also reinforces that every girl wants a bad boy, because she ends up with Ethan Hawke. But really, she should have gone with Ben Stiller's character, and I always still to this day think she was really in love with Ben Stiller's character too. Was she really in love with Ethan Hawke's character, or were they just clinging to what they had in university, which was this weird flirtation? Who knows? But yeah, I thought she should have ended up with Ben Stiller too. But yeah,
yeah,
it's still great though when he shows up to see her and they're talking, and that was a thrill to see that house in person. And to
yeah.
be on the actual steps where they filmed those scenes was crazy. And that one I took a chance with, because I really want to see the back of it, because the back of the house is featured in the movie, and you can't see that on Street View, and there's no one to call because it's a private residence. So I was like, I hope the back looks the exact same, and sure enough, it looked the
It
exact
did.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
it was pretty cool. No, it was definitely a solid flick. I enjoyed it.
yeah. It's a little dated too. It's a little
Yeah,
dated.
yeah.
I'm really younger, so the '90s. But it really, I mean, I can remember when that movie came out, everybody thinking, "Oh, this is our movie," and some people just really hate it, said it made fun. It was a farce, and that's not how Gen Xers or whatever that age group is. And I was
Mm.
like, it seemed like to me, I was like, that's what I want to be when I graduate university. I want to be a slacker and hang out at coffee shops.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. We're getting near the end here. I like to have a new segment on my show that I've done with my last interview, which is top five favorites, which is just a quick round of questions.
Oh, boy.
Answer whichever the first answer is that comes to your mind. So my first one for you is favorite song.
Oh Jesus, dude. Music's my life. Music, if for me it goes music over movies. I have a lot, to say the least. Favorite song, gun to my head, I'd have to say probably Bad or One Tree Hill by U2, but
Okay.
there's there's a ton. There's Roller Coaster by the Bleachers, Bittersweet Symphony by the Verve, uh, like anything off the first two Oasis albums, and George Michael, Eminem, REM. I mean, Automatic for the People. That album in its entirety is one of my favorite albums of all time. So a song like Night Swimming is probably, I don't know if you know the song Night Swimming. I highly recommend Night Swimming by REM. If you put on that song and you don't want to call your friends and say, let's go up to a lake right now and go swimming at night and reminisce about summer ending, I don't know what to tell you. I've met one person in my life who this I played that for and they hated it. And I was like, I don't know how to communicate with you ever again.
All right, so you're gonna go with that pick then?
Yeah. Night Swimming. Yeah.
Nice. Favorite movie? It's probably gonna be Reality Bites, right?
No, it would have been it. Reality Bites is top 5 favorite movie, not including Star Wars trilogy. I can't include those because they're different. You know, there's 3 of them. Is right. Training Day. I love Training Day.
Training Day.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. There's something about that movie. It takes place in LA. It's got Denzel absolutely on fire as an actor. It's got my boy Ethan Hawke, and then it's LA gang culture, which is something I had a fascination with as a kid. I used to do school projects on LA gangs. Like every year, I'd submit another project based on Bloods and the Crips. That's all I kept. You know, I was reading everything in the libraries I could, newspaper articles. So Training Day brought it all kind of to light, and I was just fascinated by, you know, that whole scene and so that movie. So Training Day, Reality Bites are right up. Train Spotting, but yeah, Training Day.
Nice, good pick. Your favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Well, Mexican food is my favorite cuisine, I guess you could say. Mexican food. Yeah, give me a good taco any day. I'm pretty happy, but yeah, and I'm really like chocolate, but I try not to eat as much as not as much chocolate. But yeah, Mexican food. So tacos. I'll try anything, but yeah, Mexican food is my favorite type of food.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Do you have a favorite author?
Favorite author? Yeah, I do. Okay, so I have, like I said, I have a degree in film, but I have a double major. So my other degree is in literature. And so I had to read a lot, obviously, in university, a lot. So I really liked Daniel Defoe, Jonathan Swift. Those are English authors. But then Oscar Wilde, I love as a playwright and as a writer. And then Mark Twain. I really like Mark Twain as well. I specialize in British literature, which was crazy to do. I don't know why I chose that, because George Eliot. Try reading a George Eliot novel. It's not easy. Oh my God, what am I doing? So, but I really like Daniel Defoe, who wrote Moll Flanders, which is one of my favorite books. But also, to be honest, S.E. Hinton, who wrote The Outsiders, Text, Fish, That Was Then, This Is Now. I mean, when I was 10 to about 14, I reread those books over and over again. They're books they're written by a 16-year-old, written for 14-year-olds. But now that I'm a little bit a year old, I'll still read The Outsiders, man. And I, as I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only 2 things on my mind: Paul Newman and A Ride Home. I know passages of that film. And so S.E. Hinton, even though, it's a teenage, I guess it would be she'd be the Twilight writer of her day. But S.E. Hinton, somebody very close, very special to my heart.
Good pick.
Yeah.
And your favorite travel destinations, which we kind of went through for best travel experience, but just general a travel destination that you always like going to.
Death Valley. Death Valley. Yeah, no matter what. Even if sometimes when I've only had like a week or a week and a half to spend in LA, if I'm going to do other things, I mean, Death Valley is not easy to get up to. It's far outside.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours, but I'll always make the drive no matter what. And I'll stay up there, or I'll just drive back even to stay in Palmdale, Lancaster. But nothing beats being on the open road and with the mountains around you. And then the actual tree from the cover of the Joshua Tree album by U2 is still there. You have to find it. It's in the middle of Death Valley, and there's a big shrine to it. People have all these U2 artifacts, and it's out in the middle of the desert. And so I'll drive by and I'll be like, okay, the tree's not far from here. I'll stop, trudge through the desert, whether it's a cold day or it's Death Valley. So usually it's a blistering hot, and I'll trudge out to the tree and just sit there with friends, and that's it. You put me in the desert, I'm the happiest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, you've been like all over the place. It's an awesome kind of life. It's a lot of work to get there, but I'm sure it pays off once you're there. So it's so cool that you get to go to so many places. And I love watching channels like you that do this type of stuff, because as you said, some people might not be able to make it there. So to be able to watch it virtually on your phone or computer, it's awesome.
That's what means the most to me when I get comments. Like I get it like on YouTube or Instagram, Facebook. I get sent daily something. There'll be a new message at least once a day from someone who says I'm either sick, or I can't afford to with financially, or usually it's sick, or I have an illness that doesn't allow me to travel, and thanks to you I'm able to go to these places. And that to me means more than making. I'm not trying to become rich doing this. I just want to make enough to continue to do it. But that to me, when somebody says that to me, it brings a tear to my eye, and just I'm like, that's why I do it, because of people that can't. And when they say it, they're so heartfelt. Like people in wheelchairs have written me and things like that. They say they can't. And people written me from hospital beds saying they're watching me and that they'll never walk again. Things like that, and it kills, like it hits me, and I'm just like, my God. Okay, well, that if I only got 20 views on this video, but one of those views was from somebody who wrote that, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah. It's great to hear messages like that. That's so nice.
Amazing. Yeah. And I've met all the viewers that are watching, like I don't know who's watching, but they're all so supportive, and I've made so many friends. Now I've made a friend with you through the channel. You know what I mean? Like, make friends that have something in common. Like a lot of my friends that are here in Toronto, my good friends, they're all my best friends still, but they're not into everything that I'm into completely. So now people that are exactly like me, Yeah. So it's cool.
Because at the end of the day, we're all kind of nerds or geeks in our own way and have a passion or something.
Oh my God! You saw my Reality Bites video where I'm dressed like Lisa Loeb, singing, lip sync, not even lip singing, actually singing "Stay," and in a hotel or that Adam film trying to completely line up. Yeah, that's the ultimate in geekdom, and I'm very, very happy doing that. That's for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. So cool. And my last question that I have for you is hobbies and interests or hidden talents, something people may not know about you. Is there anything that you do on the side that hasn't really got brought up on YouTube as far as hobbies and interests and hidden talents?
Well, hobbies and interests. Well, I mean, everybody knows I'm obsessed with hockey, so I love hockey. I'm not watching it now because the Leafs are out, but that was something that I played and interested in all my life. I'm a really good street hockey player. Was not a really good ice hockey player, yet I played for 15 years competitively, but I'm not that good. But I think so. And really into politics. People don't know that I'm really super like politically motivated but I keep that off my channel, obviously. But I do make videos for myself. Like I'll edit together videos and I put them up under different names on different platforms, and so they're not connected to me, but they're making fun of either celebrities or politicians. So I do that. So people don't know that I do that, and they're not going to find out what name I put them on it because I don't want to connect it to me. Nothing rude, like nothing, like, but just making fun of, like, I don't know, whoever, because I'll take a break from editing and I'll edit. It's so stupid. Like I'm editing on my laptop. I'm like, oh God, I got to stop editing this movie location video grave. I'll be like, oh, I want to make this. It's like, what are you doing? Just go outside. Yeah, and then so my other agents, yeah, I just music. I'm constantly buying or looking at new music online, and someone send me a link, and then I download it and I go for a drive. I love to drive and listen to music. So yeah, music, hockey, politics, and but really right now, as you know, you're doing a YouTube channel. It's all there's no time for a lot of other things. I don't have time. I don't have time. Like I would love to be able to talk to everybody that writes me and all that, but then I'm like it's if I take the time to talk to people for 2-3 hours a day, that's 2-3 hours a day that I should be editing. So that's a problem. So yeah, I guess right now it's all YouTube all the time. It's all I think about when I'm out too. I'm like, okay, I got to do this or this, or should I stop and film this just to have this footage on? It's like, no, you don't need another Shoppers Drug Mart shot in Toronto insert at some point, Scott. Like, why do you need that? And I'll just be like, oh God, I'm like arguing with myself in my head. But yeah, time. That's my interest right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You seem like a great guy. I know this is the first time I ever talked to you. We just connected recently on Instagram. So definitely keep in touch.
Oh, for sure.
Time since we're so close, and hopefully get to this again soon. I know some people in the chat. I didn't get the chance to get to everyone's questions, but hopefully we'll do this again soon. And Scott does live streams all the time on his channel. So if you guys have any questions for him, always make sure to join his live chats and ask some questions away. Support his channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and the new faces in the live chat. I really do appreciate you guys watching and stopping by. It's been really fun doing this, and hopefully I'll see you guys all in the next stream. And also, guys, as I said, if you guys want to support my upcoming independent horror short film, we're on Facebook and Instagram. It's at The Rage Film. Our campaign is closing on September 6th. So if you guys would like to purchase any perks, it'd be greatly appreciated. We're also doing raffles. We're currently raffling a Daniel Radcliffe signed Woman in Black 8x10. And this weekend, we're going to be raffling a Kevin Bacon signed Friday 13th 11x14. So if you guys are into that stuff, all the profits will be going towards our short film, and we'd all really appreciate it. But thanks again, Scott. You've been such a great person to talk to on the show. I really appreciate taking the time tonight.
No problem, man. Just send me that Kevin Bacon autograph Friday 13th photo anytime. I'm ready for it.
All right.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.